It began with wonder. One morning, the seas simply changed. Sailors crossing the Pacific noticed their instruments flickering, their sensors confused. The salt had vanished. By noon, the entire world confirmed the impossible. Every ocean on Earth had become perfectly fresh, crystal-clear drinking water. At first, humanity celebrated. Centuries of drought, scarcity, and thirst seemed to dissolve overnight. Governments declared the age of renewal. Children filled bottles straight from the waves. People wept as they tasted the sea, no longer bitter but pure. For the first time in history, water was endless, and peace felt within reach. But then, nature began to break. The ocean's salt, the foundation of life, was gone. Coral reefs turned white and died within days. Fish floated belly up across glassy waters, unable to survive in the new chemistry. The great blue depths turned eerily still. The seas, once alive with movement and sound, became vast silent mirrors reflecting the sky. The balance of the world unraveled quickly. Without salt to regulate temperature, ocean currents faltered. The Gulf Stream slowed, then stopped. Storms changed direction, monsoons vanished, and familiar climates began to die. Europe froze while the equator boiled. Entire ecosystems collapsed in a cascade of quiet destruction. Trade came next. Ships rusted and warped. Ports stood abandoned. Fishing industries disappeared overnight. Nations that depended on the sea fell into chaos. The miracle of infinite drinking water had turned into a global curse. Scientists worked desperately to understand it. The planet's metabolism has failed, one oceanographer said. Earth's blood has been replaced. Desalination plants were repurposed, now to resalt the seas, a dark irony no one could ignore. But it was too late. The deep ocean, stripped of its ancient equilibrium, could not remember what it once was. Years passed. Humanity adapted, as it always does. Massive floating farms spread across the quiet waters. Cities built pipelines that carried endless fresh water inland. Deserts bloomed. Forests expanded. Rivers overflowed. From space, Earth looked greener than ever. But beauty came at a cost. The air grew heavy with moisture, the sky dense with unending clouds. Rain fell constantly, flooding cities and plains. The world was drowning in its own gift. The great ocean cycle that once balanced evaporation and salt was gone, and the planet was slowly suffocating beneath its own abundance. By the time the first generation born after the purification came of age, no one remembered the taste of salt. Children read about tides and coral reefs as myths. The sea had become a mirror, clear, sterile, and still. One old sailor standing at what used to be the Atlantic shore dipped his hand into the water. It was cool, pure, lifeless. "We asked for water," he whispered, and forgot what it meant to be alive. Above him, the sky was perfectly clear, too clear. The earth had washed itself clean, but in doing so, had washed away its soul. And somewhere, deep beneath the silent surface, the memory of salt slept, waiting for the world to remember what it had lost.